once again, I am Rajiv, and in this video I will be going through the process of identifying the element which is getting oxidized or reduced in a redox equation. I have already explained the standard oxidation states of few elements in my first video. So if you are aware, then it's okay. Otherwise you can go through my first video before watching this video. So a redox equation is an equation in which an element is getting oxidized or reduced. The oxidation process is associated with loss of electrons or decrease in negative valency or increase in positive valency. Similarly, reduction process is gain of electrons, which would result in increase in negative valency or decrease in positive valency of an element. Let's consider a redox equation. Potassium permanganate plus oxalic acid in acidic medium, that is sulfuric acid, is giving potassium sulfate, manganese sulfate, carbon dioxide and water. So let's start calculating the oxidation states of the element. Now in the very first compound, potassium permanganate, as per the rules already discussed, potassium would possess +1 oxidation state and oxygen would possess -2 oxidation state. So we have to find out oxidation state of manganese. So taking manganese as a variable x, substituting the values +1 for potassium plus x for manganese and 4 into -2 for oxygen, and the total charge on the potassium permanganate is 0, so would be equated with 0. So manganese is having +7 oxidation state in potassium permanganate. Now moving on to the second compound, oxalic acid. We know oxidation states of hydrogen and oxygen, and we have to calculate oxidation state of carbon. So it can be calculated in similar fashion and it comes out to be +3. Now moving to sulfuric acid, oxidation states of hydrogen and oxygen are known. So we have to calculate oxidation state of sulfur. Calculating in a similar fashion, the oxidation state of sulfur in sulfuric acid would be +6. So oxidation state of any element in a compound can be calculated using standard oxidation states of the remaining elements and equating it with the charge that is possessed by the species. If it is a cation, then it would be equated with the positive charge, and if it is an anion, then it would be equated with the negative charge. There may be instances where oxidation states of more than one element is unknown. Now I have demonstrated it for K2SO4, but it would be applicable on manganese sulfate. The oxidation states of both manganese and sulfur are not known. So we would first split manganese sulfate as Mn+2 ions and SO4 -2 ion. So manganese would possess +2 oxidation state, and then SO4 -2 ion would be split up as S would be considered as X. So X plus 4 into -2 is equal to -2. So the oxidation state of sulfur would be +6. Now in water, hydrogen and oxygen possess standard oxidation states as +1 and -2 respectively. Now moving on to carbon dioxide, oxygen possess -2 oxidation state. So we have to calculate oxidation state of carbon. So carbon, considering carbon as X, the oxidation state of carbon would come out to be +4. So in carbon dioxide, carbon is possessing +4 oxidation state. Now considering oxidation states of the species of reactants with species of products, now potassium is possessing same oxidation state as +1 in both reactants and products. So it is a spectator species. Now manganese in reactant is having +7 oxidation state, while manganese in product is having +2 oxidation state. So there is decrease in positive valency, so it is reduction. Similarly, in oxalic acid, carbon is possessing +3 oxidation state, while in product carbon dioxide is possessing +4 oxidation state. So carbon is getting oxidized. So thus we can identify oxidation and reduction reactions. So that was all. Thanks for watching, and to be continued in part 3.